welcome back to Babe on a Budget. Today we'll be doing a smoky purple and gold party look. Usually this kind of look would be great for a night event, but I wore it to work the other day, so you do you, girls. Let's get right into it. So first up, I'm taking the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Concealer in Light 18. This is a bit more of a pricey concealer. I'm yet to find something from the chemist or the drugstore that does the same job, but I'll keep you updated on that. So I'm just covering up any blemishes by patting that in with my fingertips. Now first up, I am taking the shade ES13 Deep Skin from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Morphe is a brand from the US that does really cheap eyeshadows. They work out to be about $3.20 Australian each, so that's a bargain. The Jaclyn palette's not available anymore, but all the shadows are, so you can get them from the website. I'll link it below. And I'm just taking that on a big domed fluffy brush and just throwing that up and smooshing that around in my crease area. This just lays down a really nice transition shade so that when we go in with the darker shades, it doesn't look messy, it just looks really blended and nice. Next I am taking ES16 Bridesmaid, again from that palette. It's kind of like a deep mauve. And I'm taking a slightly smaller domed fluffy brush and putting that more directly in my crease. This will add depth to the eye. I'm then going to take that same shadow and pop it on the outer corner of my eye. Again, laying a foundation for darker shades in later steps. Now taking that same shadow and brush, I'm popping a little bit of that colour on the inner corner of the eye. If you have small or hooded eyes, I might skip this step just because it does close up the eye. But the reason I'm doing it is just to add a little bit more drams. Now I am taking the Chic shade from BYS Naked palette. This is kind of a shimmery gold, but it's a little bit more antique than true gold. And I'm popping that all over the lid using a flat shader brush. And I'm clearly very pleased with that colour. Between each step, I'm also just going to buff out that crease again using the same round top fluffy brush that we used first. That will just give it smooth edges and make sure that nothing looks jagged. Now I am taking Cocoa from that BYS Naked palette. It's like a deep royal purple, and I'm taking that on a large fluffy brush and just dabbing that on the outer corner of each eye. Now you can see at this point that it's all looking pretty sloppy and a little bit like a mess, but don't panic, it will all come together, just in case you were, panicking, because clearly makeup is life and death. But yeah, so it can look a little bit sloppy in the middle there, but it will come together. Now I am going in with the shade ES24 Deep Cocoa from that Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm sorry I didn't show you the shade. It's like a super deep brown burgundy colour. It's super pretty. I think it's actually my favourite in the palette. And I'm just going over that centre part of the lid and the outer corner. Next up, on a flat shader brush, I am going to be taking ES54 Glisten, which is like a champagne shimmery shade. It's like hella shimmery. I'm going to be taking that on a flat shader brush and just tapping that in a patting motion on the center of my lids. This looks really all about creating dimension and drama with colour, so that's why we're going in with darker colours on the outer and inner corners of the eye, and then going in with like really glistening, I don't think that's a word, glistening shadows on the centre of the lid. I'm now going to go back in with Cocoa from the BYS Nude palette, just to deepen up that outer corner again. This look is really about going back and forth with the colours until you get the blend you want. Now I'm taking the Urban Decay setting spray, and I'm just going to spritz that on my flat brush that I was using before, and I'm going to take both the Glisten shade and the Chic shade. So Glisten was from the Jaclyn Hill palette and Chic is from the BYS Nude palette. And pop that again on the centre of the lid. The reason we use the setting spray is because it'll intensify the pigment of the shadow, so it'll just make those glistening shades a little bit more up in your grill, which I love. And you can really see the difference there on the two eyes when you pat on the pigment with the setting spray, and then just blending that all out again so there's no harsh lines. Now onto the face. Now first up I'm taking the Benefit Erase Paste in Light. Again, this is another kind of pricey product, but I have found a dupe for it and I'm super excited. I'll share it in my next video. It's very exciting. But I'm using this concealer because it's got a salmon coloured base and it really covers up those dark circles. Now I am taking the Revlon ColourStay Foundation for normal to dry skin in 250 Fresh Beige and the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. So I'm just painting it on like war paint basically, and then I'm going to buff it into my skin in a pressing motion. I think I've called this brush something different in like every video, but it is definitely the Expert Face Brush by Real Techniques. Moving on to brows, I'm going to be using the Benefit Gimmie Brow in light medium, and I'm just drawing that in upward strokes in the centre of the brow and then longward strokes towards the end of the brow following the grain of the hairs. Again, I found a dupe for this product and I'm pretty excited, so I'll share that with you next video, and clearly just not into whatever I was watching then, so moving swiftly on. Again, using the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Concealer in Light 18, I'm just going back over those blemishes and problem areas using a patting motion and my finger. The reason I'm making all those oh so attractive faces is because it helps me find those problem areas a bit better, and so helps me conceal them a little bit more effectively. I'm now taking the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in number 10 Light, and I'm going to highlight underneath my eyes, and then also going to take it up in the center of my forehead and around my mouth, so basically where the light would naturally hit my face. I'm just going to blend that out with my finger. When you're doing a really dark smoky look on the eyes, like this isn't that dark, but when you're doing a smokier look on your eyes, it is important to highlight your face well, because otherwise you can just end up looking a little bit tired, and it just brings balance to the face.
In the midst of the darkest night, let your love be the shining light, breaking chains that were holding me. You sent your sun down and set me free. Everything of this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face. I will live that your will be done. I won't stop till your kingdom come. 'Cause you are my freedom.
Now going back in with that Expert Face Brush by Real Techniques, I'm just buffing out the edges of those highlights so it's all blended in and there's no awkward lines. Now taking an angled fluffy brush, I think this one I actually got in a kit from Forever New ages ago, and they've just lasted me so well, so good on you, Forever New. I am going to be taking the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 225 medium buff, and I'm just patting that underneath my eyes and in the areas I put the concealer to set the concealer in place and prevent creasing. Next up, using the Real Techniques multitask brush, I'm going to take the L'Oreal Glam Bronze Duo powder. As you can see, it is well loved. It's a really great kind of warmish undertoned bronzer that is just really great for warming up your face. Not so much for contouring, but just really good for giving yourself a glow. And I'm just going to be popping that all over my cheeks, up on my temple, and then down along my jawline. Next up, I'm going to take Makeup Geek's Spellbound Blush on a big fluffy brush from Nude Cosmetics. I'm obsessed with this blush. It just looks so good with every single look and is just so glowy and pretty. And I'm just working that up along my cheekbone area. Now, using that glisten shade that we used before from the Jaclyn Hill palette on our eyes, I'm going to take a fan brush and I'm going to use it as a highlighter. So that's the awesome thing about makeup, is you can just make up your own rules. Oh, see what I did there? So I'm just dusting that along my cheekbones. As you can see, it gives you a hella glow, which I'm into in a big way. Here for it. Now to finish off the eyes, I'm just going to be repeating the same process on the lower lid that I did on the top. So first up, I'm taking the deep cocoa shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette and that small fluffy brush, and I just ran that underneath my lash line. And then next up, I am going to take a flat definer brush and the glisten shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette again, and I'm just going to run that underneath the center of my lower lid towards the center of the eye. So that makes sense. So it's the center of the lower lash line and then towards the eye. I'm going to take Chic and do the same thing, and this will just mimic the glistening dimension from the top lid. Moving on, I'm going to take a domed fluffy brush that has no product on it. Really, any domed fluffy brush will do. I'm just going to blend those lower lash line shadows out. Then taking the shade ES4 Pearl in the Jaclyn Hill palette, it's just that one in the top corner there. I'm going to highlight the inner corner of the eye and underneath the brow bone with a flat angled brush. As you can see, this is a serious highlight. It looks way more intense on camera than it did in person, but yeah, this highlight's not for the natural look at all. But if you're going for the highlight, get amongst this shadow, ES4 Pearl from Morphe. Now I am taking Rimmel Scandalise by Kate Moss in Eye Rock Jet Black, and I'm going to be applying this pretty liberally on my top lashes and clearing some gunk off while I'm at it. That's so gross. But just going in zigzag motions. I'm just going to be applying this mascara super liberally because you want to get those va-va-voom lashes. Then I'm going in with the Essence Plump No Clump mascara, which I am in friggin' love with. It's so good. It just lengthens your lashes crazily. Oh, just poked myself in the eye. but also just gives you phenomenal length and declumping. Normally I'd want to wait a little while between doing my first coat of mascara and my second coat, because that way it just dries down better. But you know, we don't always have the time. Then I am taking the Maybelline Stiletto Mascara and just applying that on my lower lash line. Now in this process I did manage to get a little bit of mascara on my forehead, but if that happens, don't worry, just wait for it to dry down, take a Q-tip and it's all gone. It's like good as new. And that also works for underneath your eyes. It is like literally a life-saving tip. When I learned that, it blew my mind. Now I am taking two lipsticks. First up is the Maybelline Warm Me Up. It is from their Colour Sensationals line. And I can't say enough good things about this lipstick. It's so moisturizing and so smooth, but also super pigmented and lasts a little while. And then I'm taking Tantalizing Taupe, also from Maybelline, and I'm just adding that in the center of the lids to create a dimension. I'm then going to go over this with Laura Mercier's Lip Glacé in Bare Pink. You can use any lip gloss that's kind of translucent, but I love this lip gloss. It's a bit pricier, but it is like my ride or die lip gloss, and it smells so good. It smells like marshmallows. So I definitely think it's one worth saving up for. And then to finish off, I'll just be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Now setting sprays are so important for getting your makeup to last. And this setting spray is particularly good. So like I wore this setting spray when I went to Splendor in the Grass, which is a music festival, and at the end of the night my makeup looked just as good as it did in the morning. It is a bit pricier, but I'm working on finding a dupe and it is so good. But that just finishes up this look and we're all done. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell me your thoughts, tell me what you'd like to see next, and I'll catch you later. Bye guys, have a good day.